This is my latest book, probably the most timely book I've written.
For sure.
Maybe this book won't speak 10 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried to write things usually that I think are perspectives on God's work that just have longevity.
Yeah, regardless of what's going on in the
culture. But I thought we were in this moment where it was so important for somebody to speak into our present culture. This is called Reactivity, How the Gospel Transforms Our Actions and Reactions. It's about this culture of toxic reactivity that we're in, the level of normal meanness and accusation. We're in a culture where if you make a mistake or you do wrong, which everybody's going to do, there's no redemption for you.
Yep, no grace, no forgiveness.
You're canceled, and it's not just that people turn their back on you. They want to harm you, hurt you. And I just think it's those kinds of things that sin brings into the world that the gospel always speaks to. Yeah. So I'm not a sociologist. I'm not a social media strategist. But I think the gospel does speak to those things. So this is just asking the question, if we looked at this present cultural moment through the lens of the gospel, how would that change us?
Yep.
And how would that change the way that we carry on this discourse? Because the human community is just one endless conversation. That's what it is. Because we all have the desire to know and to think and to understand. It's all wired in by God, and we all have some recognition that we need one another. And so I'm really hoping this book will be a bit of a light in an awful lot of darkness.
Yep.
I'm going to anticipate some criticism because I think
undoubtedly
people think that being loving is being compromising. And these are hard times. We need to speak hard to hard times. And listen, I don't ever want to compromise God's truth.
I know that's true of you.
But with God, absolute anger with sin and absolute love for the sinner never contradict one another.
Yeah. He
doesn't have to sacrifice one for the other, and we shouldn't either.
Yeah.
So I'm excited this book is out. I have to say this, it was hard for me to write too, because it exposed a lot of those reactions in me. Because I want to be protective of the ministry God has given me, I never put those down on Twitter or whatever. But I have those in my heart. I think despicable things about people in my heart, which I should never.
Right.
And so it was. I'm thankful for the conviction.
Yeah, you said that that this is entering into a conversation that's happening, and I think this is going to be really helpful because the culture at large right now is not interested in a conversation. They're interested in talking at people instead of with people. And I know that that's counterproductive to any kind of progress when it comes to humanity, certainly connecting with God as well. And so I'm thankful of this. I remember 18 months ago when you were writing this, you talked about putting together this book, and I said, this is so necessary, so necessary. And that was a year and a half ago. I think now more than ever in this cultural moment, this book will speak to something that we as a culture are wounded with right now.